So let's talk about CCIV, otherwise known as Churchill Capital. So there are some rumors around whether or not Lucid Motors is going to be merging with Churchill Capital, and that is why the current price of CCIV has actually had a little increase in the last few days. So let me just show you really quick when I'm creating this video is just 5 days ago, it was hovering around $23-ish, $24 mark, and then now it's currently around the $34 mark, and that's pretty much a $10 plus gain within just the past week. So the main force, or at least the main thing that seems to be causing the price to increase, is this so-called rumor that they're actually going to be merging with Lucid Motors, which is an electric car company that's supposedly competing with Tesla. So what I want to do is actually give you some background off of the Lucid Motors company, and then just to show you some fun facts about them from an interview that I saw from CNBC, and then overall we can give you some insights at the end of the video on how this is going to affect CCIV. So in short, pretty much Bloomberg actually announced that Churchill Capital, which is a blank check company, was actually planning to take Lucid Motors public. So in result, investors have been bidding up the CCIV stock because the company is an electric vehicle, and if it actually ends up combined together, they could disrupt the actual industry. And however, the main thing is the uncertainty of whether or not this merger is actually going to happen, because if it doesn't actually happen, that is not going to be good news. And in short, Lucid Motors, you can see right here, but pretty much it is an electric vehicle company, except they state that they're not trying to compete with Tesla. So their main thing is that they're trying to brand themselves as a luxury car company. So think of it as like Mercedes-Benz, Audi, all of the more premium car brands out there. That's their main target. So you can actually see on their website that their actual starting price is pretty much $70,000, which is much higher than Tesla's products. And you can see the max horsepower is 1080, but they state that that's clearly the best model out there. You're not going to be getting that max horsepower with the base level, and their max projected range is at 517 miles, which is actually pretty good for electric vehicle. Now we can scroll down here, and you can see here this is much more realistic for this base model with a 406 mile range and then a 480 horsepower. And that's pretty much mainly how the car looks, and you can go ahead and check out the rest of this content. And what I want to do is actually give you a summary of the interview on CNBC with the CEO of Lucid Motors. So actually, they do have a factory, stated in the interview, that they've built already in Arizona. And currently, their plan right now, short term, is that they can produce about 6 to 7K units within this year, which isn't really that much, but again, they're just getting started. And then the max capacity of this facility is going to be up to 34,000 units right there. And obviously you can see the price for the base level, but pretty much Lucid Air's base models planning to be anywhere from $70,000 up to $160,000 for the more premium plans. And they have it within different phases. So phase 4 is pretty much, it's up to a 6-year plan. So this isn't something like, super quick. However, some concerns I wanted to bring up regarding Lucid, comparing to their units that they can actually produce, it dwarfs a tiny amount compared to what Tesla's putting out. So I think in terms of whether they want to compete with the market for electric vehicles, is they definitely will have to figure out how to increase their production, or else I feel personally, in my opinion, that Tesla would just dominate them completely. But currently, they actually asked the founder or the CEO how many people are actually reserving the Airs, because you can see here you can actually reserve the Lucid Air, and he didn't really give a definite number. He pretty much just said it was overwhelming, and obviously, I mean, you can't say that you're not getting a bunch of people reserving it, but again, we don't really know a definite number, so again, we'll never know. But I would assume that this would have some people interested in it, because I mean, it does look pretty clean. And the only thing is the price point. So if they find the target customer and they see it, they reserve it, then who knows. But right now, you notice that they have the 517 mile range. Around the horsepower range, depending on which model you get, can be pretty much 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, give or take. And one of the questions that the interview was asking the CEO was, why should someone pay more for Lucid when they could just get a Tesla? Because essentially, if you think about it, it's pretty much an electric car, right? The only difference is, at least right now, is currently based off the video, is the way it looks. So until they actually start releasing more products and we can actually see the technology, how efficient it is, then we can't really, make those judgments yet. But that was something the big that CEO kept mentioning, was the main competition isn't really about the who wants Tesla, who wants Lucid. It's mainly focused on efficiency. So pretty much how far can you go per kilowatt hour. So if Lucid releases another model in the near future that can go way farther than the projected mile range, and then they can keep it within a reasonable price, but Tesla doesn't do it, and that's a big competitive advantage. But I feel personally that by then Tesla would be so much farther ahead, and they could actually have, much farther ranges for their actual electric vehicles. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. Also, some questions that I brought up myself is, could they actually keep up with Tesla, right? What happens if they don't end up getting the market share where people actually get within Lucid and they all just go over to Tesla? I mean, at this point, we won't really know yet. But since it's one of the few players out there, I'm sure there are people out there who are not a big fan of Tesla and might just switch over to Lucid just because of, the luxury appeal that they give off. But something to note is obviously Elon Musk. He's the face of Tesla. So they are dominating because obviously he is a well-known brand out there. I mean, he's literally everywhere. Every company is building. Lucid Air, personally, for most people, probably don't know who the CEO is, or they might not even heard of what Lucid Air is, or Lucid Motors in that sense. So again, we'll just have to see how well it plays off in the next few months. And one of the good signs, though, that I would say regarding the merger with CCIV and Lucid is that the CEO, he didn't actually give a outright no, right? Think about it. If you were in an interview and someone's stating, hey, I have this rumor that you are working with this company. If it's completely false, then most likely they would just straight up say no. So if he didn't actually say, a definite no, then who knows what's going to happen. But my personal opinion is, if it ends up merging, then that could be really, really good signs for CCIV. But again, if it doesn't end up happening and this was just all rumors just to cause hype, that could basically be very bad. So no, none of this is financial advice. Make sure you do your own research before you make any investments. These are all just my opinions, but pretty much we'll just have to wait and see. So if you do know anything about the rumors or even more research or data regarding Lucid in terms of, their future projections and other more important factors to consider for people who are interested in investing into this company, definitely let me know in the comments below. And if you are in Lucid, let me know when you got in, because that'll be really interesting to see when you got in compared to others. And one little fun fact I wanted to leave you off with is the actual CEO of Lucid Motors is Peter Ronson, and he's actually a former Tesla engineer. So this is quite exciting, especially if you are personally invested with a CCIV, assuming obviously the merger and everything goes as planned, because Ronson actually understands the electric vehicle model in the business, because he was working on Tesla. So he actually promised to deliver his own Air EV in just a few months. So assuming that everything goes well, then they will actually do pretty well. But again, we will never know until it ends up happening. So let me know in the comments below what you think is going to happen. And aside from that, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe for more updates, like the video, and share this with your friends. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.